Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We'll give folks maybe one more minute to join and then we'll get started. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started here. Hello, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us today for Navigating Social Security Online. We hope this will be helpful for you personally or with individuals that you serve. My name is Rhiannon Johnson, and I am the Career Resources and Financial Literacy Specialist at the Kansas City Public Library. And today I'm joined by David Seymour, Senior Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. Get my screen to go to the next slide here. There we go. Perfect. All right. So before we get started and into the content for today, I have a few notes on Zoom and what we'll be using today. So your questions are welcome. Please share any questions that you have in the question and answer section, and we will do our best to answer them during today's session. Please do not ask any personal questions or share any personally identifiable information. We will cover how you can request individual assistance in a one-on-one capacity. If you have any technical difficulties, please share any concerns you have in the chat section. We'll do our best to help you out. So if you hover at the top or the bottom of your screen to get to that Q&A section or the chat, you should have a little bar that pops up and you should see a chat or a Q&A. So those are kind of the access points for asking some questions. So feel free to ask those throughout, and we will monitor those and address them as we are able. All right, great. So now I'm going to turn it over to David, and he will take it away for the rest of our content for today's session. Thanks, David.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rhiannon. That was a great kickoff, jump off there to all the fun that we're going to have here today. Most people probably don't think of fun and Social Security in the same sentence, but hopefully the information that I share today and the things that we kind of go over and reveal or make available to you will be helpful, whether you're helping yourself or a family member or a loved one or others in your specific role. As this slide kind of suggests with the lovely visuals here, Social Security really is with you through life's journey. And today we're going to kind of look at just a little bit of that. We don't have time to cover everything, of course, but today we're really going to be focused on online services. And so that's really kind of our focus of our chat here today. So Rhiannon, I'm not sure, do I need to tell you to advance the slide? It appears.
Go ahead and turn it over to you.
Gotcha. Okay, so, and actually, okay, well.
Or I can, it's up to you.
I think it's going to be good if you do it. Yes.
I will do it. Perfect.
Based on how
no worries.
Based on how things are going on this end, I'm like, okay, no, I think it's going to help if you do it. So
okay, good deal. All right, well, here we are. We're back.
Wonderful, wonderful. Next slide, please.
All right. Now, if mine will cooperate.
Right. Because I didn't see any controls on my end, so I said, well.
Let's see here. What is going on?
There we go. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I know, that's okay.
Okay, here we are.
So since we don't have a lot of video here today, some of you may see my picture in the Zoom window. But I just wanted to give a little background as to who I am. I work in our Kansas City Regional Public Affairs Office, and that means that we are responsible for public affairs and outreach activities for Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, and Nebraska. And I got my start with the agency in 2005 as a claims specialist. So I took all of the claims pretty much under the sun. Retirement, survivor, disability, supplemental security income, all of the benefit claims, and assisted individuals in helping understand what their options are, and resolving issues after the fact. So got a lot of experience in that realm, and that definitely helps me be qualified to speak to you today. But I also spent time as a supervisor in a local field office, and also as a public affairs specialist in the Chicago region, as well as a technical training instructor. So I was a part of a team that helped train new claims specialists across the nation. So that was a really great experience, and definitely thankful for that. So hopefully that will kind of help inform some of the information I share with you here today. Next slide, please.
It's just being a little slow, so
I hear you.
It's like, come on. There we go.
There we go. So a lot of people sometimes don't think about how things get started with Social Security. It's more than just assigning you a number when you are born, or when you come to the country, but it's really about collecting taxes from your earnings. And so that is done under the Federal Insurance Contributions Act. A portion of your each paycheck is withheld for under the Federal Insurance Contributions Act, or FICA is the acronym most commonly understood and known. And what happens is a portion of your wages are withheld, 6.2% for Social Security and 1.45% for Medicare. Medicare is our nation's insurance for individuals who are age 65 or older, or who have been entitled to disability benefits for a certain length of time. So we collect those taxes, you pay your half, and your employer pays the other half. And so based on those contributions, that is what makes you insured for benefits. So Social Security is a social insurance program, the world's largest, actually. And when it comes time, based on your earnings, you're eligible for either retirement benefits or disability benefits. And if you pass away, your survivors may also be eligible for benefits. So next slide, please. So what a lot of people don't know is, how big is this thing? Well, a lot of people work, and we do have a lot of folks in the US. So about 180 million workers pay Social Security taxes this year. So it's quite a few individuals. And about 94% of all people who work are actually covered or eligible for some kind of benefit under Social Security. So the large majority of folks who are working, you, me, and many others, have worked and earned enough to be eligible for some type of Social Security benefit. What does that look like in terms of numbers? Well, as of December 2019, about 60.9 million individuals receive some type of Social Security benefit. That could be retirement benefit. The largest portion of that is retirement, followed by disability benefits, and then benefits to dependents. So we're talking about minor children, we're talking about some spouses, and we could also be talking about children, what we call disabled adult children. So children who were found to be disabled before the age of 22. So as you can see, Social Security is the largest part of this pie here, and it's comprised of a lot of individuals. There is also a program called SSI. SSI stands for Supplemental Security Income, and it is a needs-based disability program. So in order to be eligible, you have to have low enough income and resources to be eligible for SSI. So about 5.4 million individuals receive payments from SSI. And there's a sliver there, about 2.7 million, that actually receive both Social Security and SSI. So those decisions are really based on a person's eligibility factors and how high their benefit amount is. So there's a variety of factors that go into that, but we just show you that slide just so you kind of have an idea as to how many people receive benefits and what kind of benefits they receive. One website that we really like to encourage the public to become more familiar with is MyMoneygov. This is a federal website that is designed to educate the public about a variety of financial topics. You know, let's say you're really, kind of out of, not knowing what to do when it comes to investing your money, or how to protect the investments that you have. And you've got some basic knowledge, but you want to learn more about various terms or various options that may be available to you. What's great about mymoney.gov is you've got some fantastic links that can help you get some basic information about those topics. There's also some links here for youth that has links to games and fun facts about money and to help develop a great awareness and understanding of what it means to save and plan for the future. There's resources for teachers and educators, and also for research. Maybe you like money a whole lot and you want to know what kind of research is out there. So it's a great website, again, sponsored by the federal government, and no one's going to sell you anything on here. You don't have to worry about any kind of promotions, but it's just a great way to be more informed about money and all things related to it. And so, we share this information about this website because on the next slide is where we really focus on kind of how Social Security plays into your financial future. Many people know that Social Security is important to an extent. Like, we all probably know someone, at least one person, who receives a Social Security benefit. And as part of your financial future, Social Security is meant to be the foundation for other investments and resources that you may have. So I like to kind of look at it as cookie jars. You don't want to have just one cookie jar or be dependent upon one cookie jar for all of your sweets, right? So just kind of like with your financial future, it's ideal if you can have multiple jars, multiple sources of income and resources to draw upon. So upon the foundation of Social Security, hopefully folks have some sort of pension or retirement savings, other types of savings and investments, maybe a little bit that you've whittled away each pay period or each month. And then maybe there's other income. So maybe there's rental income, or maybe you're working a part-time job, or there's all kinds of things that may be in your financial future. But we just like to help people understand that Social Security is just one part of that. So as we are looking at what's going on with Social Security now, we know that COVID-19 has had a significant impact on many of us in many different ways. And what we want to communicate to the public is that we are still open and we are still providing services to the public. The limitation that is in place right now is we are very limited in the number of people that we are able to see in our local offices. It is very, very, very rare to go to a field office right now for anything, okay? And so if you could go back to the previous slide for a second, Rhiannon, thank you. So, we like to make sure that people are aware of what is available to them online, which definitely we're going to talk about a lot of that today, but calling us by phone at 1-800-772-1213. That's our national toll-free number. which is available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, our agents are there to assist in many ways and provide, responses and information that can help you do business with Social Security. And there are times where you may have to contact your local office. And so we do have contact information for our local offices available through our online office locator, which we'll take a look at when we look at the website here in a bit. And just some other points on the next slide that to keep in mind as it relates to COVID-19. We're not encouraging people to directly go to one of our local offices. We cannot accept walk-in visitors at this time. So we are still available to help by phone. And in your local office, there are representatives that are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So this coming Monday, we won't be available because it's Labor Day. So, but from all intents and purposes, except federal holidays, we are available to assist your call, to assist by phone. And so there are some instances where we may have to schedule an appointment if we cannot help you by phone. And by speaking with an individual in your local office, they will determine if that is necessary based on the nature of your request and what's needed to complete that request. So just we want to make sure that the public is aware that we are still available to assist during COVID-19, and we recognize that there are some challenges related to that, and we're doing our best to make changes to our service delivery so that we can still be of greatest service to the public.
Great, David, thank you so much. We have one question that I think would be helpful to maybe potentially cover before we move into the website pieces. Could you explain a little bit about who might not be covered under Social Security and what that might look like?
Sure. Yeah, and thank you for that, Rhiannon. I see that question in the chat. So for individuals who would not be eligible or covered by Social Security would be those who have not worked or earned enough to be eligible for a benefit, and that having worked enough or earned enough money or had enough earnings varies according to the benefit that is being applied for. So for example, if someone is wanting to file for a retirement benefit, they need to have at least 40 credits of earnings on their record. That's usually about 10 years of earnings. So if they don't have enough credits to be insured for a retirement benefit, we would not be able to pay them a retirement benefit. But a disability benefit, what we're looking at is if you had enough earnings in the recent years before a person became disabled to work. Okay, so we kind of look at earnings from a different angle in that respect. So those are the two most common situations where a person would not be eligible or covered for a benefit.
Great, thank you so much. And then I'll advance to the next slide, if that sounds good to you. And then you're ready for the websites after that, right?
That's right, I am.
Perfect.
Wonderful. So what we've all been waiting for here today, right? An introduction to our online services. So hopefully some of you that have joined us today have had an opportunity to go to our website before in some capacity. But if you have, or if you haven't, that's quite okay. I think I'm gonna cover enough today that will be new to you, and that will hopefully also be helpful to you as you look for information for yourself or your loved ones or other folks that you may serve in your position. So we're going to start out with just a basic overview of our home page. There's a lot of goodness on that home page that's right there and easily accessible. We'll take a little bit of a deep dive into our benefit planners so that you can see kind of how things are laid out and what information is available there. We'll also focus on our online services homepage, because I'm always revealing to people, whether it be through email, through phone, hey, did you know you could do this online with us? Did you know you could do this online? So we'll cover some of those things. And then finally, we'll talk about what it means to create your personal My Social Security account. And maybe you've had a chance to do that already with us, but if not, you may be able to do that when we get into that section on your own, if from your own computer. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're just going to take a look at our home page here. And before I do that, I want to make sure that it appears and everybody can see our home page here. Rhiannon, I'll let you be the determinant there.
Yeah, it's looking great. Thanks, David. We can see it.
Wonderful, great. I'm glad to hear it. So I like to kind of look at our home page in kind of like 3 sections. Okay, this top half of the section is of the page is really the information that most people are looking to us for. Okay, so as you can see at the very top, we've got a specific link to coronavirus updates, right? COVID-19 updates. So what is that? So many people have so many questions about, well, how do I file a claim? Or how do I contact my local office? Or we've also gotten lots of questions about the economic impact payments, which we do not manage, but we have been a good partner with the IRS in providing some information about those payments. So that's really a great link for you to go to if you're wondering about anything related to what Social Security is doing during this COVID-19 pandemic. So that's a great link. But as you can see here in the top portion of the page, we've got some options you can search. Maybe you're just looking for a particular form, or maybe you're looking for a particular publication, or maybe you're not quite sure what you're looking for, but you can use the search feature there. We have a menu that shows some other topics, kind of goes into detail, takes you to links to some of the pages. On the left-hand side, you can see we've got online services, social security number and card, changing your name, social security statement, and also accessing forms and publications, frequently asked questions. And then in the middle, or on the right-hand side, of course, more details about benefits, resources for business and government, and information for other types of professionals and kind of sectors that assist folks or may have questions about Social Security. And for those who like to have more information about Social Security from a research or policy and planning standpoint, we've got some good stuff there too. So great resources that are really available at your fingertips. For those who may need information in other languages, that's helpful there. You can get more information about how to get publications, but also maybe if English is not your first language, what is a way that you can communicate with Social Security, okay? And then for those who have a My Social Security account, signing up is really quick and easy right there. You can sign in or sign up for your account right there. We'll focus on the My Social Security account here towards the end. You'll see here we've got a little banner too that if folks are getting those fraudulent calls, I would say raise your hand if you've received a call or two. I know I have, and so we give some guidance for folks who are wanting to know what they should do when they get those calls, and definitely what not to do, like not sharing your personal information. So great resources, things that people need up front, and we don't want them searching all over our website for. And then, of course, getting more into the bread and butter of the page, another link to COVID-19. Some people respond visually, so we've got that graphic there. Online services, retirement, disability, Medicare enrollment. Those are really the programs that most people and services that most people are wanting to know more about. We're going to look more closely at the retirement and disability pages here in just a second. Okay. And then of course, links to other resources. We want people to be able to access their My Social Security account. We know that people have questions about their Social Security number, and we also have a retirement estimator because people really want to do that calculation of their retirement benefits, and there's no need for them to be waiting on the phone or waiting in one of our offices when we're open to the public for that information. We like for folks to have that available to them. And then moving our way down the page, we have some great promotional videos that help people understand why it's great to have their My Social Security account and other aspects of our online services. A great newsroom where you can get the most up-to-date information about Social Security and what our press releases, our blog. We really try to use a variety of methods to communicate with the public because Social Security really does matter, and we want people to know what they need to know about their benefits, right, and be informed. And then some other items of interest. We know that people have questions about getting a replacement Social Security card. People want to know when there's bad weather, if the office is closed, if their local office is closed. People need to check the application, the status of their application or their appeal request, and fraud prevention and reporting. People also need to know how to contact us. So we've got some great links here that are hopefully helpful to folks and get you the information that you need quickly, and so that you can kind of be on your way and do more fun things in your life. So as I promised, we're going to move forward here, and I'll take a break here and just kind of make sure. I don't think we have any other questions that have come in, but if there are other questions that come in, please feel free to use the Q&A or chat, and I'll be happy to assist in any way possible. So right now, we're going to move to the retirement planning page. And as you can see here, it's all about retirement benefits, right? So if folks know that they're ready to apply online for retirement benefits, we've got a nice little button right there. You can go ahead and start your application. But maybe you're at the point where you really want to do some more research and understand how Social Security is going to play into your retirement future, right? So learn, apply, and manage, right? So for those who are already getting retirement benefits or Social Security benefits, we want to make sure that they understand how they can manage those. Make sure you update your address and direct deposit information with us or other changes. So great resources here and laid out in a logical manner so that you can easily access the information that you need. We've got some other services listed here, such as a retirement calculator, and other more robust calculators like a life expectancy calculator, things of that nature, so that you can use. And everything on our website is free. There is never a charge for any of the services or information that is on our website. So if you are on a website and you're thinking it's a Social Security website and you're being charged for something, run away. That is not our site. Okay, so from a fraud prevention standpoint, I always like to make a point of that so folks are aware of that. And then further down on the page, we've got some commonly asked questions, frequently asked questions. And so maybe that's all you have and you're just kind of searching around, for some information on that. And then of course, some publications, popular publications and forums. So we really have taken some steps to condense and put the most critical information that folks need based on the inquiries we receive, based on all of that information, so that when you come to this page, it's 99.9% likely you're going to get everything you need by coming to that benefit page. Okay. And so now I'm going to move to our disability benefits page. Okay. And in a similar fashion, the layout is not as necessarily pretty as the retirement page, which we just redesigned the retirement page recently. So that's why that has kind of some new gloss to it. But our disability benefits page is also laid out in a logical way. We want folks who know that they're ready to file to go ahead and file. But of course, we provide some background about how you can be eligible for disability benefits, the application process, and the things that you need to prepare for applying for disability. That way, you're as prepared as possible and you're ready. That using these resources will kind of help the process go smoother, whether you choose to file online or whether you choose to file through one of our local offices over the phone. And then we also tell you some information about what to expect, once you submitted your application, what to expect, who to contact, your options to appeal in case you've been denied, and other information that can be helpful when applying for benefits. So again, these resources are here because we don't want people waiting unnecessary amounts of time on the phone or in one of our local offices just to get this information. And especially as it relates to disability benefits, there's a lot of details, and it's kind of hard to provide all of these details to someone over the phone, right? So we want to make sure that whether you're filing or whether you're helping someone file for benefits, that this information is available to you when you need it. On the right-hand side, you'll see that we have other related information. So links to other kind of disability topics and resources. If you're helping someone apply online, other nutrition assistance programs in case you're, kind of in a time of need there, and other kind of healthcare information that may be of benefit to you. One thing that I'll note here too, you'll see at the top of the screen, there is always the Social Security logo along with the word Social Security. At any time, if you ever need to go back to the home page, you can always click there and you'll go back to the home page. And then of course, the options that I identified earlier, search function and menu and languages are always there as well. So again, try to make it, very accessible and easy to use for the public. So let's see here. All right, I do see that we have a question that just came in. And the question is there a longer lead time than usual for applying for Social Security benefits due to the pandemic? Great question. And that's a very logical question, right? I would say that no, there is not. And the biggest reason is because, well, pretty much our entire workforce has transitioned to working from home. So although we may not be in the office, and seeing people in our offices, we are still taking claims over the phone and processing any claims that we receive, through our online services. So a general rule of thumb that we give for a retirement application is for folks to file 3 to 5 months before the month they want their benefit to start. Okay, that usually gives us enough time to secure any documentation that we may need, or contact you to resolve any kind of discrepancies or issues that may exist when we're looking at your record. And then for disability benefits, we really encourage folks to file as soon as they feel that they are unable to work because of their condition. Sometimes there is a myth out there that people have to wait a certain amount of time, or that people should wait a certain amount of time after they stop working to file for benefits, disability benefits. And that is not necessarily true. We don't want anyone to go any longer without filing and going through the application process. So yeah, there really is not a longer lead time. There may be some delays related to just COVID-19 in general. If we're needing to get documents from someone, there may be delays in getting the mail and receiving the mail. But from a claims processing standpoint, it's pretty much business as usual, and we're thankful for that. Great question. Okay. Let's see here. And now I'm going to move forward to our online services page. I've already highlighted some of our online services, but one thing that it is good to kind of point out with our online services, we do have hours of service. So just because these services are available online, we do temporarily have to shut off certain online services so that we can perform enhancements and updates, right? So we've always got our hours of service when the online services are available there at the top of the page. And of course, we have an easy link to the My Social Security account. And what's great is that our online services continue to evolve and change. I remember when I started with the agency in 2005, in that year was the year when we just started having it available to file for retirement benefits online. And that was a major feat and accomplishment unto itself. So as you can see right here on this page, since then, we have already grown so much since 2005 as it relates to what we offer online. So, maybe you need to just print out a benefit verification letter. Maybe you need to request a replacement Social Security card. Maybe you need to file for benefits. Or maybe you just want to look at your latest earnings statement because you're going to be meeting with a financial advisor or somebody to help you, kind of get ready for retirement. All of those things can be done online in most cases. So again, reviewing your information, applying for benefits, retirement, disability, or Medicare, you can file online, and you can also appeal a decision online. And then managing your account, you need to change your address if you're receiving benefits or direct deposit, or you need proof. Or, in tax season, sometimes folks need a 1099, which is the form we send you at the end of the year that shows how much we paid you, in Social Security benefits. So all these resources, again, we want people to be able to take advantage of them, whether it's through your personal computer, whether it's on your mobile device, or, maybe you might be using the services of your local library to access these online services. That's quite all right. As long as you know what your login information is to your account, you're good to go. And even if you don't have an account, you can still access the information on our website, for your needs. So, there's always something that you can do with us online. Okay. And then we've also got it broken down by topic there as well. So appeals, Medicare, retirement, disability, SSI, and then estimating future benefits. So some good resources there. Okay. And so now I'm going to move right on into My Social Security. So hopefully you have your My Social Security account already and you're happy with it. You got in, you looked at your information, but if you haven't, you're in for a treat today. And I'm going to kind of walk through some of the basics, the initial screens that you'll complete in order to create your account. But a My Social Security account is something that is personal, free, and secure. Okay. There cannot be more than one account in your name. So We have plenty of safeguards that keep that from happening. There's only one account, and it's where you can receive the personalized estimates of your future benefits, look at your latest statement, and then, of course, perform other online services such as replacement Social Security card, apply for benefits, and so on. And I know that as we move forward in this digital age, we will continue to add additional services as we enhance what's available online. So on this initial screen here, you'll see that there are some options. If you've never created an account before, of course, you'll click create an account, and that's what we're going to do today. But you may have already tried to create an account, and you may need to finish setting it up with some information that we've provided for folks who may have had an issue in creating their account. And so there are some options there as well. Okay, so for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and click create an account. And what will come up is the secure website where you will enter anytime you're accessing your account or when one is created. And you'll know that it's secure by some of the information up here at the top. You'll see a lock, kind of a padlock symbol, and then it has redirected you to the secure section of our website. Okay, so secure.ssa.gov. And this is secure wherever you are. You know, if you're on your mobile phone or if you're accessing it through a local library or organization, that is an indicator that you can use to make sure that you're in the right place. Okay. And to create your account, what's great here is we already list some information that you need. So you need to have a valid email address, a social security number, a US mailing address, and be at least 18 years of age. Okay, and so you can create your own account, but you can't create an account on behalf of someone else unless they are there with you and you are assisting them, you know, and they've given you permission to assist them in creating the account. Okay, so we've got that little primer there. And of course, if you already have your account, well, then you just go on over here to the username and password. And of course, we've got some assistance there in case you forget either one of those. I know I'm guilty of that from time to time, but that's okay. We all need a little help sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead for right now for this demo and just click create new account. And it's going to start out by asking for your zip code. And I'm just going to type in the zip code for here in downtown Kansas City. You may be wondering, why is it asking for your zip code? Well, up front, we're wanting to know your zip code because there are certain services that are available based on not just your zip code, but the state in which you live in. There's some verification, kind of background verification options that are possible depending on the zip code or really state of where you live. So I've entered the zip code of 64106, and as I said, you know, we have some background verification things that happen here. So creating an account is easier when you use your driver's license or state issued ID to verify your identity. Okay, so we do recommend that folks use that because this will allow the account creation process possibly to go smoother. And so I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I'll try it. If I clicked no thanks, it's going to ask, we're still going to ask you the same questions. Okay. The difference here with this one is that in the background, we're going to do our best to verify the information you give us with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles for your state. Okay. So what you get next here is this terms of service. And what I usually say in my events is this is just pretty much saying, hey, you've got to have this information to create an account. This is who can create an account. And what are we going to do with your information? We're only going to use it to verify your identity. We're not sharing it with any other individuals, and we're asking questions as part of the verification process that are based on your credit report. It's a soft inquiry, so it will not affect your credit score, and there's no charges or anything associated with that. Okay. And by using your account, it's not creating any kind of a report, or issue on your credit report. And that when you get on here to use this service, you're going to act right. You're not going to do anything misleading or anything of that nature. Okay. And once you sign up to create an account, we will no longer send you a paper statement in the mail. Okay. We may send you an email reminder. Okay. Before your birthday, but we won't send you a paper statement anymore. Okay, so I'm going to agree to the terms of the service because all of that makes sense to me. And then here on this screen is where we start to get into the information that we need to verify you. Okay, so what's critical here is that you do need to enter your name as it is shown on your Social Security card. Okay. So not your nickname, not what people call you, but the name that does appear on your Social Security card. And of course, your Social Security number, your date of birth, and then your home address as it appears on the driver's license, learner's permit, or other state issued ID. Okay, so you may tell everybody you live on such and such street, but it's actually Avenue, so you want to make sure that you enter the information exactly as it appears on your ID that you're going to use. Because in the background, what we're doing, especially with all of this information that you've provided already, we are checking to make sure that your name, your Social Security number, and your date of birth matches with what is on our internal records. Okay, and then we're also in our collaboration with Bureau of Motor Vehicles, we are checking your name and the address information with what is on record through the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Okay, so that's why it's really important that folks enter information on here very accurately. Okay. Of course, we will also ask for your cell phone in case you have one. It could help us verify your identity if we need to use that route. And then, of course, your email addresses that you choose. Okay. So we're gonna, unfortunately, I can't go beyond this page because I can't create a fake account, and I already have one. But once you get past this screen, we will ask you a series of credit report questions. So these are questions that are based on information on your credit report. It may be something like, you opened a mortgage account with one of the following institutions back in February of 2012, and there will be a list of companies there. One of the correct answers may be none of the above, or you may actually see the name of the company there. And similar questions that are based on maybe a credit card that you may have, or maybe a previous address that you used to live at. So again, these questions are based on information that is pulled from your credit report and should be, and based on your credit report, these should be questions that only you would be able to answer, or, and that you should be aware of. Now, some of them are a little obscure, so that sometimes folks do have challenges in answering those questions. But once you get through those questions, then you're able to create your username and password, and it's smooth sailing. And then you're into your account. Okay. So I'll just kind of stop there for a second and see if there are any questions about what it takes to create a My Social Security account, and see if there's maybe some of you have had some issues in creating an account. I'm happy to address some of those questions as well. Okay, so hearing no, oh, go ahead. I think
that
I
was
just
me.
heard
That was
someone.
me.
That was you, Rhiannon? Okay. Great. Well, so hearing none, Rhiannon, I think this would be a great time to go ahead and go back to the slide deck.
Perfect. All right.
And I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, yeah, you got it. You're on it. Sweet.
All right. Fantastic.
So, yeah. So, what I would encourage folks to do is to follow us on social media as well. You don't have to have a Social Security account to follow us on social media, but we do post a lot of great information about benefits, about Social Security topics, all kinds of things on our website. And most of the time, I think through our social media pages, you know, the way we consume information these days is in bite-sized chunks. And so it can be helpful to tune into us through social media, because maybe, you know, the one thing that we post, you know, today or next week is the one thing that somebody just asked you about, or that you had questions about yourself. So we've got some great videos on our YouTube channel that help lead folks through what it means to get a replacement Social Security card or file for benefits. And of course, for those who may be looking for employment, we posted some great information on LinkedIn. So we definitely encourage you to visit us on social media. And with that, that's kind of a quick and dirty or clean, however you want to call it, intro to our online services. So I'm happy to answer any other questions or comments that folks may have.
Yeah, it looks like we have one other question here, David. Social Security employees don't counsel or advise folks on their retirement situation. Who can we go to for help with retirement planning and Social Security decisions?
Fantastic.
And I will help follow up with that too, but I'll let you first.
Sure. Thank you, Rhiannon. Well, definitely, you're right, Mary. We don't counsel or advise folks on retirement situations, because retirement is a much bigger thing than just what Social Security, than just the role that Social Security plays in it. So while we do provide we can provide information about a person's benefits and help them just kind of understand a little bit of what their options are as it relates to filing, when they may want to file for benefits and things like that. We definitely encourage folks use our publications on our website, because our publications are written in a way to help folks think about some of those larger retirement decisions and some things to consider. We also encourage folks to use our online services. Those are things that you can do without the assistance from anyone else, to just at least get a base level of understanding. And then, of course, we recommend people use other resources available to them. I'm sure you're going to talk about some of those, Rhiannon, through the library. But of course, there are financial advisors out there. And here in Kansas City, there is Money Smart Kansas City. So if you go to moneysmartkc.org, there's a variety of financial literacy type of resources there and professionals that can assist you in that effort. So yeah, I'll turn over to you, Rhiannon. Feel free to share.
Thank you, David. That was very comprehensive, and you covered a lot of the things, especially with the other organizations like Money Smart, and talking about kind of just where to start with some initial kind of research and forms that are just available to you for free through various government agencies like Social Security, as well as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is another really good resource that you news that kind of has some initial kind of information related to money and retirement and just kind of all of those considerations. And Money Smart Casey has a great website too, where they've compiled a lot of really good information related to your financial health and your financial future and financial decisions and all of those good things. As the career resources and financial literacy specialist at the Kansas City Library, I offer one-on-one consultations. And while I don't necessarily advise folks specifically on kind of their financial situation in the same way that a financial advisor would, I can help connect you with resources. Again, we can, move through websites very specifically together. Like as David mentioned, we can, if you have specific questions, we can try to find the answers to those, as well as helping you, maybe if you want someone to help manage or, manage money or give you some more of that one-on-one consultation in terms of a financial advisor, looking through resources that can help you determine who might be the best fit. We'll never refer or recommend anyone directly, but helping you kind of get information about what questions you might ask, what things you might consider, so you feel like you have all the information you need to make the decision that's best for you. All right, and with that, I am going to see if we have any other questions. Again, like I mentioned, if you have individual questions that either didn't get answered today or you want to do a follow-up, you're welcome to reach out to myself or my colleague here at the library, Jeannie Garman. And again, just thank you so much, David, for such a great session. And if you have, again, any of those individual questions or want a consultation, my focus area is a little more on the financial literacy, so kind of making the most of your money now and in the future. And then my colleague, Jenny Garman, focuses on legal and government information. So she and I kind of overlap when it comes to Social Security. So either one of us would be happy to answer or field your questions, and we'd be happy to assist you, with information or referrals as needed. I think unless anyone has any other questions, I think that's going to wrap up our session today. Thank you so much for attending and asking your questions, and feel free to reach out to us and to stay in touch. We are looking forward to connecting with you all soon. Have a great evening.